Hey everybody, it's Rob Nazarian with Talk Android, and we're looking at the Droid Incredible 4G LTE. It is the third edition of the Droid line, and I'm calling it the Droid Incredible line, shall I say? And I'm calling it the phone that could have been, or the Droid Incredible that could have been, because really there should be a 1X, and it's mind-boggling that they didn't give us that. And furthermore, it's not even really a 1S. It is somewhat, very much, pretty close to it, but it doesn't have the image sense camera. That's the biggest thing that I feel that we're missing here. The opening up the box here is the usual mumbo jumbo, the manual, and the USB wire and outlet plug. Basically, the real difference here is between this and say the 1S is that you can open up the back and get to the battery and replace it if you want. It's a 1700 milliamp battery, and you also get a micro SD slot for up to 32 gigabytes. Of course, there's your LTE SIM, and it's 8 megapixel camera in the back. It's still the same lens is on the HTC One series, but you just don't get that image sense chip for like burst shooting and all that good stuff. It does have Beats audio, and this back, I like the back of this. It's a rubberized texture feel, but it does not feel the same quality as the 1S and the 1X. In fact, it's much thicker as well. It comes in 11.7 millimeters, whereas the 1S is 7.8 millimeters and the 1X is 8.9. Let's turn it on. The microphone jack is up top, and the USB is over here on the side, and that's the boot up. Pretty quick boot up here. And this is Sense 4, so it's basically a similar phone than the HTC, as the one series, in the sense that you get Sense 4 and its ice cream sandwich, and you get the typical lock screen here, where you can, go right to the camera, messages, so you can unlock here, right to the main screen, or you can go right to the camera. And you have your 7 home screens and your usual HTC widgets, and your settings are over here, so you can go into personalize and do all that good stuff that you're normally used to doing with Sense and what we've seen on the One series. So basically, in that regard, it's very similar. It does have similar specs to the 1S, as I mentioned. It's got the 4-inch QHD display. It's pentile, so it's 960 by 540, and it's got the Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 dual core at 1.2 gigahertz, and so you can see it's Android 4.0.3 and Sense 4.0 right there. Like as I mentioned, it's got the 8 megapixel camera on the back. I forget now, the front facing, I think it's 1.3. I'm sorry, I can't remember exactly there, but I believe that's what it is for that. I mentioned a 1700 milliamp battery, which is a little low for LTE, but it is a smaller display. Now let's take a look at the camera. Basically, you do get a lot of the same features. For example, it'd be help if I take my finger off the lens. If when you're filming, you can take a photo, snap a photo while you're doing that, full size, so that's nice. You're not going to be able to take burst shots, so I'm holding it down there. It's one shot. And as far as your settings here, you have your basic settings as far as your photo size and all that good stuff, but you're not going to get all that. Oh, you do have some of these effects here, or like grayscale and all that is on board, so that's nice. You do get the HDR, which is nice. So basically, the biggest difference is really the burst mode. You get the panorama, the HDR, slow motion video, and all that stuff. So you know it's pretty much almost all there. It just doesn't have the image sense chip, which kind of is annoying. Why, again, they would do that. The phone is priced pretty reasonable, $149. However, you really got to ask yourself, for $50 more, you can get a Galaxy S3. I know some people are budget conscious, and you get a 4.8-inch screen there. It says 4. Now, some people just don't like the bigger screen, so they say, you know, forget the $50. 4 inches is what I want to go with, because this is small, but I tell you, even if this did have the image sense full camera in it, I still have a hard time buying this now, you know, based on the fact that it's 4-inch. But I know there's a lot of you out there that do prefer this size. It does feel good in the hands, I have to tell you. But for just your casual viewing and games, I do like the bigger screen. Battery's running a little low there. They didn't send it to me with much battery power, but that's okay. We can charge it. Got plenty of chargers around here. So I'm not going to get into too much of the Sense stuff. We have a lot of the other videos from the 1X and the 1S that show that, and you know, that's pretty much it there. So we'll do a more in-depth review of the phone, and maybe in about a week or so we'll do a write-up. So look for that. This is just an initial look. So thanks for watching, and again, this is Rob Nazarian with Talk Android.